On Sunday, the Mariners swept the best team in the American League with perfect timing on their swings at the perfect time in this series. And Julio and Randy head into the All-Star break absolutely scorching. Welcome to the Dom Skiing Channel, your one-stop shop for the Mariners storylines on Seattle's minds. And the Mariners win 8-4, score 35 runs over the course of this three-game series in Detroit, beat the Tigers 8-4, out-hit them on expected batting average, 254 to 233 in this one, so pretty close. But you score when it matters, and the long ball gets it done. 10 hits to 8 hits for the Tigers. And the Mariners' 10 hits, you had 4 homers. One from Julio, that's 3 in 3 games, one in each of the games in this series in Detroit. You got Randy, who has 9 since the beginning, since June 30th now. After having 8 from March 27th through June 30th, he's now got 9 since June 30th. Absolute tear for Randy Arozarena, one of the hottest hitters in baseball. He's now hitting 251 with the 820 OPS. Julio's OPS now 730, and his average now 252 after going 2 for 3 in this one with 3 runs, 2 RBIs, 2 walks, just 1 strikeout. Julio is just piling up extra base hits, and that OPS that was at 687 when he was selected to the All-Star team last week, now right at 730. You can make the case a little bit more that even his hitting stats aren't that far behind the Taylor Wards, Joe Adells, or whoever else you might have put in this All-Star game. Cal, at a 1010 OPS, 259 average, ends the first half with 38 home runs, an American League record for the most before the All-Star break of all time, and one behind Barry Bonds' MLB record of 39 homers before the All-Star break. But what matters, as Angie Mentink was saying this entire series, is the end of the season totals and the end of the season records. So although Cal goes 0 for 2 in this one, he gets walked 3 times, and that OPS still sitting at 1010 after 96 games. This was game 96 yesterday. But the main storylines this weekend is that as Cal hits his 2 homers to give himself that shot over the weekend to tie Bonds, everybody else picks up the slack and hits homers of their own. Randy just crushing the breaking balls. Julio just crushing the breaking balls, especially the inside breaking balls. Just everything that was the book on the Mariners that we were worried about for the last week and a half basically solved itself in this series. Because when Julio is hitting the breaking balls this well, when Randy is, you're going to have a great time. Also apologize for this camera angle, filming in a different setup, and just had to figure something out. Anyway, going to get this done, and then there will be a video on the Derby later tonight, so stay tuned for that. And Dom Canzone ending the first half at 319 batting average with a 904 OPS. 2 hard hits in this one for him. 2 hard hits also for Julio and for Randy. Then 1 each for JP. And then Garver, who hits another homer here. He's been hitting lefties well, especially in the past month, where all of his homers on the season, other than the position player one, have come. And then, Donovan Solano ends the first half. He gets put in as a defensive replacement here. But he, 254, 648 OPS. You can't really ask for much more. That's about what you expected from Donovan Solano. Ben Williamson, 259 with a 615 OPS. He goes 0 for 3 in this one, strikes out, but he has such good bat-to-ball skills, and his ability to extend the at-bat and control the zone. He is the control the zone player in the lineup, Ben Williamson. The way that he fouls off pitches specifically. Randy and JP are the best at plate discipline, but then Ben Williamson down the order, you don't need you need the top of the order to have the plate discipline guys. You need the bottom of the order to be the foul-off guys. Protect the plate. And that's how you overall control the zone. I actually need to make a video. I need to go more in depth about the control the zone approach 1 through 9 in this lineup right now. Because as Angie said, the approaches for everybody are amazing. And not to get off topic, but man, why I said perfect timing was the title of this video, because the timing on the swings in this series, the broadcast kept remarking it. It's just a joy to see. But it looks like your friend who you went golfing with him one time. He was terrible. His swing, he was barely able to make contact with the ball. If you don't go golfing, I apologize for the golf analogy. You might not understand. But your buddy, you went golfing with him. He was trash. Then he comes back another time, and then he has this smooth swing, and he's striping the ball, just making effortless, solid contact. That's how this series looked. It looked like you went and watched your buddy who's not very good at golf go not only play a good round or a good, weekend, but look fundamentally different. And the timing on our swings right now, the entire approach at the plate right now has become holistic, because now that you take the fold out of the book for changeups and sliders for the Mariners, since you absolutely destroy changeups in this one, now we are such a harder team to play. And that's why we're able to sweep and manhandle the best team in the league this weekend. Anyway, Cole Young also ends the first half off with a homer, as does Jorge Polanco. They go back-to-back there in the ninth inning. So many runs in the ninth inning this series. Such good offense. The table is set, and then the lineup just keeps churning. The approach this series was so holistic that the breaking balls were not the answer to the Mariners in this series from the best team in the league. And you got to give some credit to the hitting coaches, Edgar Martinez, Kevin Seitzer, Bobby Magallanes. What they're doing seems to be working. It's very hard for the average, for anybody to analyze the impact that a hitting coach is making from outside the organization, outside the clubhouse. But for these guys, you've got to give them credit where it's due, because with anything that you could possibly help these hitters with, which Bobby Magallanes has a great response to this in an interview. It's, first, it's, you get to know them as human beings, get to know what makes them tick. And from there, you can help them beyond just baseball knowledge and, things in between the lines. I mean, you see Julio make a big decision mentally this week and look like he is playing absolutely free this weekend. You see Randy get selected to the All-Star team and continue an absolute tear. And obviously, the psychology of these things play a big role too. But the one thing that we can look at right here is that stats normalized for our lineup over the first half of the season. Cole Young, 2 for 4, 1 run, hits his second home run in the majors, and then 1 RBI, strikes out once. But he's hitting 254 with a 652 OPS. You look up and down this lineup, you see where the production is coming from. It is worrying that you don't have that many good average bats. A lot of guys in the 250s. You got really 2 guys above 260 in this lineup, and it's J.P. Crawford at 290, then Dom Canzone, and a lot, limited at bats at 319. But this lineup did everything that you could ask of them going into the break, and I just can't wait for what we see in the second half. Although I am incredibly excited to watch this home run derby tonight as Cal Raleigh takes on these guys in Atlanta. And from what I've heard, this ballpark isn't great for lefties. So when I'm looking at who's actually going to win the derby and stuff, I'm going to have another home run derby video out later. So I'm going to talk about it more then. But anyway, I do want to talk about the pitching in this game. 2 pitchers that very well could have been asked to be in the All-Star game. Flaherty was. Logan had the injury, so had some hiccups and just didn't make sense necessarily for him to be an All-Star this year. But that's all right. Would love to have his innings go towards our team anyway. Jack Flaherty, we're going to start out with him. 5 innings, 2 earned runs on 4 hits and 2 walks, 2 homers allowed, and then 7 strikeouts for him on 93 pitches. He's got a 4.65 ERA. He was hard hit only 4 times in this one on the 93 pitches. And looking at Flaherty, you see he goes 4-seam 53 out of 93 times, and it gets walloped. He goes knuckle curve 21 out of 93 times. That gets walloped as well. The slider kept us off balance just a little bit. He throws that 16 times on 93. And that we walloped all of these pitches, though. The max EVs pulled the average up. So although he had an 88.6 average mile an hour exit velocity on his pitches, and he racked up 13 whiffs on 93 pitches. That's very, very respectable for all-star Jack Flaherty. He got 6 on his 53 four seams. He got 4 on his 21 knuckle curves. He got 3 on 16 sliders. Like, that's really good swing and miss stuff for Flaherty. Then he throws 2 sinkers and a changeup kind of throwaway, but it really just looks like the Mariners. He came out wanting to throw a bunch of four seams. We crushed those. He moves on to he's like, well, at least I'll have the curve and the slider in my back pocket, and then we crush those, and then it's like throws his hands up, which shows that if we can make an all-star pitcher throw his hands up and get through his entire arsenal like this, it shows that if you hit breaking balls, you're one of the best teams in baseball if you're the Mariners. And you got to look at Tommy Kahnle, who came in here, threw 11 changeups, got absolutely walloped. He had a 110-mile-an-hour batted ball, 109-mile-an-hour batted ball, gave up a bunch of runs in the process, a bunch of 2 homers on 15 pitches, both absolutely scorched, 109, 110 miles an hour, 3 earned runs, on the one of them was a 2-run homer. It was Jorge Polanco who came in, and then hit a 2-run shot, and then it was, the Demo pinch, or the Demo got such as a defense replacement. Then Polanco and Cole Young went back-to-back off Tommy Kahnle, off the changeups, and just the fact that we have those guys low in the order, again, hitting changeups, and the bench bats hitting changeups, that improves the rest of our team so much better, because that's the area that we were severely lacking in the starting lineup. You get so much in this series from basically every single player. I could look at every single player and pick things out that they did extremely well in this series, and there's really not any major complaints. Logan Gilbert going just 5.1 innings again on 94 pitches. We really want to see him get to 6 innings, but it's going to take time, and you got to be super conservative. As you see the Dodgers, with Shohei Ohtani obviously coming off of surgery and hasn't pitched in years, they're moving him along so slowly. But it's the best decision that you can make, because there's 2 things that matter in the playoffs, to quote Mike Cameron: pitching, health of pitching. Now, Casey Legamina does come in, give up a run for us. Gabe Spire comes in and gives up a homer to Riley Green. But again, you're going to take your lumps in this Detroit series. Matt Brash comes in, 2 strikeouts on 10 pitches, clean inning. Munoz, 11 pitch, clean inning, 1 strikeout. Bada bing, bada boom. You had the Tigers in the bag for the 3rd straight day. And these games did get close at points, but we just put runs up all over one of the best bullpens in baseball, one of the best starting pitching staffs in baseball. So then to look at exactly, so Logan, no earned runs, but he did allow 2 runs that came off of errors, and then 6 hits allowed for Logan over the 5.1 innings, 2 walks, 9 strikeouts. And what's frustrating for Logan right now is that he's come back and absolutely looks like himself, but he hasn't thrown 100 pitches yet, to my knowledge. Somebody can fact check me if I'm wrong in the comments. He hasn't thrown 100 pitches yet or gone 6 innings. And it's been over a month now, which we really want to see him do both of those things. He was hit hard 8 times on 94 pitches. Logan, you expect that some of those pitches that he throws in the zone or right on the edge, trying to get guys to chase and stuff, when he really is pressing for strikeouts, he's going to give up a few more hard hits than a guy like Flaherty, who is really a little less willing to challenge hitters and a little more willing to pitch to contact than Logan. Except Logan was doing well pitching to contact earlier in the year. If you remember opening day, and everything he said in spring training was about taking velocity off of his fastball, still being just as effective by improving the other areas like control and pitching to contact. So Logan Gilbert, the stuff is absolutely there. He looks himself. The results just haven't been yet since he came off the IL. Bullpen, good job. Legamina has been thrown in some rough situations and allowed a lot of runs that really didn't matter for games. There's been a few games that he's really messed up when it mattered. But there's also been a lot of times where he comes in when the game's already out of reach, or we're already putting it out of reach. I guess that wasn't the case here. That was a tie game. Yeah. Anyway, I think that is going to do it for the final game recap of the first half. I will be back with the home run derby video later today. Let me know what you guys want to see in that video. With that being said, I'll see you guys later today. Go Ams.